another successful week for me. I took two trades. One trade on Ethereum, a crypto. Ethereum, as you can see in front of the screen, I took it like a day trade position. So initially, my first trade, I wanted to trade Bitcoin, but Bitcoin goes without me. But I was able to catch this trade on Ethereum. So a lot of seller on crypto. And the second trade is AUDNZD. AUDNZD is the running trade. I decided to let it run over a week. Why? Because I still think we have a potential, how can I say that? I still think we have a potential room to continue because fundamentally, Aussie is still stronger than Kiwi dollar. Okay. So that's why I think that we could potentially continue. And on top of that, I saw a nice rebounds off of this point of control from the last month. You can clearly see it on 4 hour. You can see this gray zone is holding price. So for me, it's perfect. And another confirmation that we could potentially see a continuation and finally target this level. So I will show you my running position. This is my running position, so that I left. Initially, I put a lot of contract, a lot of lots, but because we are entering over week and I don't like to have a higher risk over week, so I decide to reduce more. That's why you can see blue arrows for entries and left and red arrows for me getting out of some trade, reducing some lots on this trade. So I will let it and let's see what's will happen next week if we finally touch the target. Okay. So let's prepare for the upcoming weeks, the week from 28th June to Friday 3rd. So I think this will be a short week for me, short week of trades, because I think I saw that they report the NFP report on Thursday instead of Friday. So yeah, top of that, Friday is a holidays in the United States, so I will probably trade until Thursday. Okay, so this will be a short week for me. So on Monday, nothing special. On Tuesday, we have some growth data on pounds, which we could potentially keep an eye on. And we also have growth data on Canadian dollar, growth, the GDP month on month, keep an eye. And some jobs data. It's not a major one, but if you want to keep an eye on this one, you could potentially do. And Wednesday, some PMI on Japanese currency, and in the Eurozone. So interesting. And we also have some flash CPI to keep an eye on. And some jobs data, ADP, non-farm employment, and finally the NFP. So NFP will be on Thursday, and we have on Wednesday, we have also ESM manufacturing PMI. So some growth data and jobs data will be very interesting this week. Okay. So let's start analyze the DXY, which is the most important chart, aka the dollar index. Last week, last week I talked about the hawkishness of the Fed, which could result as a break of this level right there. So it seems like we perfectly close above on weekly time frame. So what do I expect for the upcoming week? So just a continuation to target finally this zone right there. Okay. Why? Because remember, if we zoom out and we take our Fibonacci tool to measure this lag, to measure this last leg weekly structure, we can see that we still have some room to target the 50% and 61.8%. So perfectly zone in premium to target. So I'm still bullish on dollar. So to be precise, we have some imbalance right there where we could potentially see a return before position ourselves again to continue the trend. So let's go down to daily. Daily, we have this channel which have formed, you can see. So me, as I talk about my last weekly market, we want to target the top of the channel. It seems like we are going in. So yeah. So let's go down to the 4 hour. On 4 hour, I will be bullish from this low to this high. I will just wait some retracement in this time zone, maybe to fill this imbalance, half or totally, possibly, and before engaging again to ride this trend, okay, to the upside. So that's pretty much what I'm thinking and what I'm seeing on the DXY. I'm still bullish, but because the trend, I think the trend could be so strong that I will pay attention with this level right there. Look how this support is holding price. You see, we pretty much close above again. We pierce and we close at the end of the last week. So for me, I will not be surprised if we break this previous high, retest, and then I think we could continue the upside. So there is another possibility. But in the beginning of the week, if the dollar starts to weak, maybe we could see a little bit drop lower before waiting for the NFP release, and maybe strong NFP we could potentially push again. So yeah, very interesting, but the context is bullish. I'm still bullish on DXY. Okay. Okay, move on to EURUSD. So EURUSD, the concept is the same. See how this supply zone is holding price in premium zone. So for me, I was pretty sure that with with the help of the fundamentals, we could potentially continue to drop to the downside, because I still think that Euro is overbought. So we need to drop a little bit lower. So let's go down to the weekly. Weekly, see how we test first this 50% mark, this blue dot line. If you can see, this blue line is the 50% mark of the channel. So it seems like we already test this level. So for me, the next level will be, the next target will be a continuation to target this level, which corresponds to this level right there, pretty much this support. Okay. So on sell side, I still think we could continue to drop if we if we could potentially see some, I mean, some retest, because look how we close below this level. Pretty much we break and close below. That's a pretty good sign that we want to continue, and there's a lot of seller on this market. So we could potentially see a retest right there before continuation, or even a retest in premium somewhere here before continuation. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. Let's go down to the daily. Daily, you see, you have the channel forming. We have the daily structure, which is this. So I'm still bearish from this high to this low with the break of this level. So for me, if the trend is not so strong, we could potentially see something like a return around the 50% mark of this last movement before continuation. Okay, but if the dollar is still so strong, we could potentially see, let's go down 4 hour, just a retrace of the last 4 hour leg. Okay, so I mean, we could potentially see a retrace around there, this premium zone around here, or even here, this imbalance right there before continuation. Okay, that's potentially what I am seeing right now. Yeah, I mark up this point of control from the last week. If we break and close below, we could potentially continue to the downside, something like that. But yeah, I'll keep my eye on what the dollar will do and adapt with the situation. Okay, but my best scenario will be some sort of retrace around this premium before continuing stop just above here. Okay, the next one is pound USD. So on pound USD, if I zoom in on monthly, you can see the monthly is still bearish. So we close the month in a couple of days. I think it will be on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. The end of the June. Yeah, the end of June is Tuesday. Yeah. So on Tuesday, we could potentially see, we need to pay attention how price we close here, somewhere here. If we are we gonna close below, or are we gonna stay reject this level? So this will be very interesting to see at the end of the week how the month will be closed. So let's go down to the weekly. On weekly time frame, what do we have? We still bullish from this low to this high, because this is my weekly order flow, because we break this high. So for me, as I said in my previous weekly market outlook, I still want to see, with the strength of the dollar, I still want to see the pound dollar drop lower to target around the 50% of this movement. Okay, so that's why I'm still bearish on pound. But I said in my last video, pay attention to this level. This is a strong level. For me, we need a lot of force to break this level first, close below, and then continue, finally target this level. But as long as we are not breaking this fully, I think I will not engage. Except if we retrace even higher, we come back, find a premium zone, and then maybe I will short again. But I will not, in any case, I will not short here, right? Because I think we have a lot of resistance support right there that we price need to fully break before really continue the movement. Okay, so that's pretty much what I'm thinking. Go down to the daily. The daily is still bullish from this low to this high, because we break this high. So yeah, as I said, we need to break this level. to confirm that we switch fully on daily on the downside. Okay, so let's go down to the 4 hour. So what do we see on 4 hour? On 4 hour we see a downtrend clearly. We have a downtrend channel. You see, so for me, maybe a retracement around this level, some rejection here would be another possibility to short again, or even on this level. Let me show you because I already put my setup here. If I see price, let me zoom out. Let me delete this. If I see some retracement here, even a simple rejection of this high will be opportunity for me to short, or I will wait another premium price around this imbalance to short again. So yeah, I'm still bearish on pounds. So yeah, just find shorting opportunity. Okay, but if we finally break this level, this could potentially be another possibility to short, to continue the trend towards this level. But yeah, it will depend on what the dollar on. Be careful on the NFP report. This could change the narrative. So yeah, move on to Aussie dollar. So on Aussie dollar, on weekly time frame, I'm still bullish from this low to this highs. So I explained in my last weekly market that I want to see a retracement towards the discount zone somewhere here. So it seems like we dropped a lot last week. So we see this closure that proves that there is a lot of seller in this market. So I would not be surprised if we continue maybe the next week to continue to drop. Clearly, if the dollar continue to drop and to rise, we could potentially see the Aussie dollar dropping again, finally target this next level. Okay, so let's go down to the daily. On daily, the daily structure is still bullish, as you can see. So we have this demand right there, which is holding price right now. We need to fully break it to be considered continuing to the downside. Otherwise, we could potentially see some sort of bounce off of this demand, maybe finding a premium zone before continue the movement to the downside. That is a possibility. So let's go down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, we have also a descending channel, downtrend channel, as you can see. So this is the structure. So I'm bearish on 4 hour from this high to pretty much this low. Maybe expect some retracement around premium zone somewhere here before selling again. Okay, and I'll not be surprised if we see a little bit of weakness of dollar at the beginning, so that will help the Aussie to rebound clearly. Maybe reject this low, break, change of structure in lower time frame, and then some sort of retracement. But overall, yeah, we are bearish. Move on to NZDUSD. So NZDUSD, we are still bearish, but on a higher time frame weekly, I still think we don't have a clear trend because we are ranging. I explained that in my last video. Go down to the daily, but we start to see a daily trend forming because we pretty much close below this level. You see, we close below, so that's make me this as my last daily trend, my last daily structure. From I'll be bearish from this high to this current low. Okay, so but be careful. Price is actually holding on some sort of demand zone right there, because look at the past, we have some accumulation, huge explosion, leaving an imbalance behind. So yeah, this demand zone. So I will pay attention on what will happen here. Could we see a rebounce like Aussie, or will we potentially see some continuation and close below this demand zone? Yeah, very careful on what's happened here. Remember, the dollar is strong, so we need to see some weakness of dollar to be able to take some reversal here. But if not, maybe let this level break. Let's go down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, this is the structure. 4 hours, so I'm bearish from this high to this low. So yeah, same thing. Expect some rebounds somewhere here. Okay, nothing much to say about this pair. Let's go to the next one. The next one is USD yen. So USD yen, I don't have nothing much to say about this pair, except that we are still bullish. Look at the monthly. The monthly is still bullish. I think we are almost target this high. I mean, we are close. We didn't target yet, but we are close. So yeah, we are bullish clearly. Let's go down to the weekly. Weekly bullish. Daily, we are bullish from this low to this current high. So this is the structure. Yeah, I'm very careful on this pair because we are pushing the extreme highs. So this is most of the time potentially zone where the Bank of Japan, BOJ, intervene. So I will not exclude that we could see some huge intervention of the Bank of Japan from this high. So I will be very, very careful. So that's why I'm staying away of yen pairs for the moment. I will rather wait some intervention, key intervention, a retracement in this zone somewhere here before engaging in a long on this pair. Okay. Next one is USDCAD. So USDCAD pushed very, very strong this last week. You can see we pretty much reached the target I marked up last week. We touched this level. Look at the candle, look at the strength. This is very, very strong. So let's go down to the weekly. Weekly, we are still bullish from this low to this high. We retrace perfectly in this demand zone. We hold, you see, and then we break again. You see, yeah, the momentum is strong, very, very strong to the upside. So what I want to see for the next weeks is a continuation because dollar is strong. Canadian dollar for the moment, I don't see in the data, fundamentally speaking, I don't see some strength, some growth in Canadian economy. For the next week, I let's go up again on the higher time frame, 12 months. Yeah, 12 months, I still think we have some room, you see, to target again this order block right there. This order block from way back January in 99. Yeah, it's very, very back. I don't think I was trading in that period. But yeah, we still have some room to target again this historical level. So if the dollar continues to be strong, I still think we could push towards this level. Okay. That's why it's very important to always look what's other level, potential or level we will have in higher time frame. So let's go down again on weekly. We already touched the weekly. Let's go down to the daily. So on daily time frame, what do we see zooming? We are bullish from this low to this high. This is the daily because we break multiple highs, you see. So we are bullish. Could we see some sort of retracement towards the discount zone? I doubt about this retracement because look at this. This is a momentum. This is not a trend. This is what I call momentum. The momentum is very strong. Okay. So yes, we reach an important level where we could see some sort of rejection, but I don't think we could see a huge rejection because yeah, the dollar is still strong. So what I think is we could potentially see some sort of rejection, maybe around this imbalance right there. You see this imbalance? This is where I could potentially start to buy again the USDCAD somewhere here. Even the touch of this support right there, if price reach there, I will be happy to buy again. Okay. So let's go down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, yeah, nothing much to say. We are bullish from this low to this high. So yeah, 50%, yeah, it's overlapping with the level I talk about. So yeah. So just waiting some retracement because I still think we are at least overbought. We could see some sort of retracement before continuation. So yeah, waiting price around here, some imbalance here or here before buying again. The next one is USDCHF. So on USDCHF, we are oversold. I talk about my last weekly market. I expect some reversal towards at least the 50% of Fibonacci around this premium zone somewhere here. So yeah, will be bullish for the next week on USDCHF. Maybe because we already reached these highs, expect some sort of retracement before continuation. Okay, somewhere here will be very interesting. So let's go down to the daily. Daily, we have this perfect, yeah, we have this channel, you can see. So expect some retracement in discount before continuation. As I said, if I zoom in, we have some imbalance right there where if price want to really dip lower, we could potentially find some discount zone here to be able to get in this trade again. Look how, as I said, the gray zone, which represent the point of control from the last year, act as a resistance break. And hopefully, I want to see holding price and act as a support before set again a new buy. Okay, so that's very interesting. So my daily structure will be from this low to this current high. So we could potentially see something like that. So yeah, let's go down to the 4 hour. In 4 hour, yeah, I already mark up my potential setup somewhere. I will be waiting price somewhere here on discounts somewhere here before engaging in buy again. Okay, so that's it for USD CHF. Move on to gold, precious metal. So on gold, the momentum is still lower. Look, the monthly candle, we have a lot of bears on this market, so I'll not be surprised if we continue to reach at least this imbalance to fill this zone. This will be very interesting. And another interesting thing is go up. If you go up to the 12 month, you will see that the candle start to switch bearish. So yeah, this will be very interesting to see, maybe at least at the middle of this previous candle. So the middle of the last year will be very interesting to target. So yeah, very interesting to see that the 12 month has switched bearish. So remember, the more we are in higher time frame, the more significant the trend will be. So let's go down for monthly. So monthly we are bearish. On weekly, we start to start to form a bearish order flow. So we just need to very do we close below this level? Let me zoom in. Yeah, I think we close. We close slightly below this level. So yeah, pretty bearish sign for this market. So we close below this low. So yeah, the trend is still bearish, I think. So there is high chance that we target this low and this imbalance right there I talked about in high time frame. So let's go down again on daily. So on daily, what do we have? Yeah, the trend is clear. This is the trend. So we are bearish from this high to this low. So if we see a strong reverse on gold for the following week, we could potentially see some sort of retracement around 50% somewhere here before seeing a continuation to the downside to target this low. So that's a possibility if we retrace the last daily leg. So another possibility is, I think, on 4 hour. Let me zoom in. 4 hour, we already have this channel, this bearish channel. So we could potentially see a retracement from this last 4 hour leg. So I mean somewhere here, a retrace around above the 50% or around the 61.8 somewhere here, or even here before continuation to the downside, because I still think we are bearish on gold because we have high inflation. We have a lot of central banks starting to maintain high rates, so which is not a good environment for gold. So yeah, I still think the downtrend will continue, but where is the question? So yeah, I keep my eyes on this level somewhere here in premium before continuing to the downside. So this will not exclude that in we potentially see some order flow bullish, but I don't like to trade it because I like to follow the higher time frame trend, because this will be a lower hold compared to a trend traded to the higher time frame trend. So yeah, I try to this past year to filter my trade and try to avoid counter trade, because this counter trade reduce my profitability at the end of the year. So but I will keep my eyes, at least if I find a really good signal in lower time frame, maybe who knows. If I saw also the if I see also the a weakness in the dollar, which could favor this retracement, maybe I will be getting in gold. We will see. But the trend is down, higher time frame. So my perfect entry will be around here, as I said. Even here, because we have a supply, which is will be the retracement from the daily leg, remember, before continuation. So that's pretty much what I see. So we want to target this level right there. Okay. Next one is silver. Silver is the same as gold. We are bearish. You see, we are pretty much at the end of the month. I think we're gonna close below this, and this will prove that there's a lot of sellers again on this market. So next target will be this level right there. So let's go down to the weekly time frame. On weekly time frame, yeah, we close. We start to see an order for bearish. We close as the gold. We close below this low. Pretty good signal to continue the movement. Let's go down to the daily. Daily, we are bearish from this high to this low. So if we see some huge retracement, we could potentially see a retracement maybe towards the yearly open, this blue line, which represents the yearly open here, you see. And you'll see some reverse continue the downside. But if the trend is so strong, we could also selling from this level. It will be very interesting. We see clearly on 4 hour, you see, this is the 4 hour structure. We will retrace towards this supply around there, and maybe I will position myself, find a setup in lower time frame to target this. So yes, bearish again on silver. So let's finish with the US oil. After the the peace deal signed, we observe a drop on US oil. So peace deal. Let's go down to the weekly. Even though I still think we have some headline continue. Yeah, US military at the end of the last week, I think on Friday, we have some strike again around the Strait of Hormuz, around in the Middle East. So yeah, even though we have a peace deal sign, this thing continues. So I will not exclude that we could potentially see another rebound somewhere here because of the strike. So the tension. So yeah, be careful. But right now, the oil has dropped very hard. So towards this gap we saw on back in the days on March, at the beginning of March, the month of March. So yeah, on daily time frame, yeah, just a straight momentum to the downside. So yeah, be careful. This gap price will potentially the strike again could potentially see another surge on the US oil, which will not be good for economy. So be careful for those people who are trading US oil. For me, I let trading oil when the conflict starts back in the March. All this ranging will not help me to trade for real. So I let US oil. So let's go down to the 4 hour. 4 hour, yeah. It seems like we could potentially see some rebounds off of this after this strike events. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the end of the video. If you like it, put a like, subscribe. This will help me know that you really appreciate my content, my analysis overall, week after week. So have a good trading week. Be careful on the market. It was Josue, and I see you soon on the next one.